I want to welcome you by Lesson 7. Lesson 7, The Importance of Meditation, is presented from Mindset from a Teenager. I'm Damien, and this lesson we're going to talk about the importance of meditation. We have now arrived at the planning, we have now arrived at the planning and the goals. The planning is, as always, reading, planning, and goals, closure on what we did last lesson, instruction, exercises, and at the last, ending and what we are going to do next lesson. The goals for this lesson are you know why it is important to meditate, you've gotten tips about how you can meditate the best, and you don't have the typical Buddha stereotype about meditating anymore. We're now going to the closure on what we did last lesson. We have now arrived at the closure. What the goals from last lesson were you know why it's important to be positive in life, and you can name examples about how you can be more positive in life. Please explain to me in your notebook what I mean with those quotes. So, why it's important to be more positive in life. Name the examples. That is what you're going to do. If you are done with that, you can listen to me. If you are not done with that, set the video on pause. The start exercise is you're going to describe in 5 sentences about what you had learned last lesson. So, what is the technique that I learned you? And all that sort of things. That is what you're going to do. If you aren't done, please set the video on pause because we're going to the instruction. We have arrived at the instruction. This instruction has one quote, and that we're going to talk about. That quote is if the mind is not clear, not whole, and not completely healthy, it cannot possibly be in a state of religious meditation, which is absolutely essential in order to discover that which goes beyond all fruit and all desire. That is from Krishnamurti, if I said it good. What it means is if you always have stress, have things on your head, that then it's it's not possible to meditate. What it is, meditating is simply said, and that six, no, not 6, 7, fuck, 8, 9 times, and then you are meditating, and that's important to block the stress out. So that is the reason why this quote was in it. We have another quote. You might have seen this. Uh, my gosh, I didn't know the word plagiar. No, not plagiar. That's the. You might have seen this before. And in lesson 1, we have more focused on the upper side. So the side that I crossed down. Now we're going to go to the underside. So I'm giving it in green. This side. Here is the quote. Clean your mind. You need a moment of silence every day to clear your mind, or else your thoughts will, like your laptop, fill up. What this quote means is that you need to do every day one time, stay completely silent in a room and do nothing, and be stressed by nothing. Nothing is important because then you can clean your mind and then you are less stressed, all that sorts of things. So that is why it's important to meditate. We're now going to the exercise. We have now arrived at the exercises. The exercises are 2 exercises that are parted into steps. I will go after each exercise, after each step. That is going to be fast, and at the end you have time to work it completely out. Now, the first exercise is the first step. Write down what you spend most of your mental energy on in a negative way. So, like negative thoughts, where we're going to talk about in 2 lessons, or all that sorts of things. Or that people don't find you good enough can also be one. Now we're going to step 2. How does that feel in your mind right now, the negative part? Step 3 is, what do you think would happen if you what do you think would happen if you never clear away the negative part? So the negative thoughts. What do you think would happen if you took time every day to meditate? What do you think then would happen? This is exercise 1. Now we're going to exercise 2. Exercise 2, the first step is write down 3 sounds you can hear outside at this moment. So like birdies, traffic, sirens, all that sorts of things. Then the second step is write down 3 sounds you hear within yourself, such as negative thoughts, your tummy rumbling, your heartbeat. That are sounds that you hear in yourself. Which inner sound creates the most noise for you? So which inner thought creates the most noise for you? Like, when which inner thoughts are you talking the most to? So in your head. So like, maybe they don't find me good enough is a thought you can have, and then, but he's not doing it. I'm getting I'm getting sadder every moment. That is what I mean with step 3. Step 4 is, what do you think would change if you passed those inner sounds through meditation? Because meditation is, as I did, just breathing in a slow pattern and with nothing to distract you. How how would how would that be if you put those negative thoughts into that? That was the exercise. We're now going to the end and what we're going to do next lesson. If you aren't done with that, please hit. We have arrived at the ending and what we're going to do next lesson. You have learned. You know why it is important to meditate. You have gotten tips about how you can meditate the best. And you don't have this typical Buddha stereotype about meditating anymore. Apart from the last one, I want you to explain what I mean with those goals. So, why is it important to meditate? How can you meditate the best? That is what I want you to do. Now I'm going to talk about what we're going to do next lesson. Next lesson, on the 1st of August, we're going to have the summary lesson of chapter 2. If you found this video fun to watch, please select the like button, select the subscribe button, and then I will see you tomorrow at the Monday Advice Day. Bye!